Every day, approximately 2.5 quintillion bytes of data are created, and over 90% of the world's data has been generated in the last 2 years alone. Hello, all, this is Pavan over here, and today I'm going to teach you about data and statistics. Previously, we had a little introduction about this topic, and this is the second video of this entire series, Mastering Business Analytics. So, let's start this video. So let's understand what is data. Earlier, what I said, data is nothing but a collection of information. Alright. So here, what I have written is data are the facts and figures collected, analyzed, and summarized for presentation and interpretation. In simple words, data is just a collection of information stored in a tabular form. So when British mathematician Clive Humby declared in 2006 that data is the new oil, he meant that data, like oil, isn't useful in its raw state. In simple language, what I want to say is that जो डेटा हमारे पास में हम कलेक्ट करके स्टोर करते हैं उसको काम में लाने के बाद ही हम उसका अच्छी तरीके से यूज़ कर सकते हैं. अगर उसे रॉ स्टेट में रख दिया तो जो इन्फॉर्मेशन हमारे पास है या जो डेटा हमारे पास है उसमें से जो इंसाइट्स हमें गैदर करने हैं वो इंसाइट्स अगर हम गैदर नहीं कर पाए और डेटा को उसी रॉ स्टेट में रखे तो वो डेटा कोई काम में नहीं आएगा हमारे फ्यूचर में. नाउ लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आर द टाइप्स ऑफ डेटा. लाइक two types are there, qualitative and quantitative. So in quantitative, in simple word, the data which is in the form of numbers is quantitative data, and in qualitative, the data which does not have numbers, meaning that it has only Bible alphabetical and information which has some specific categories. So this is about quantitative and qualitative data. So by definition, what we can see that in quantitative data that use numerical values, in qualitative that can be grouped by specific categories. The example of quantitative data is age, date of birth, height, weight, income, expenditure, sales volume, stock price. Then in categorical there is gender, country, company status, occupation and education. Now let's understand what are the scales of measurements, and these are really important when it comes to BA1 and BA2. Alright, BA2 is going to be in CM2. So there are 4 types of scales of measurements: nominal, ordinal, interval and ratio. Let's understand each one of these one by one. So nominal scales are like assigning categories without any specific order or ranking. For example, car color like red, blue and green. Then we have ordinal scale. Ordinal scales are ranking preferences from least to most. For example, first rank to 5th rank. Okay. There is an interval scale. Interval scales are like measuring with equal intervals between values but without a true 0 point. For example, rating systems. Ratings from 1 to 10 scale in a feedback form students. Ratio scales. Ratio scales have equal intervals between values and true 0 point, allowing for meaningful ratios between values. So repetition or number of times a game is played can be counted into a ratio scale. So I hope you have understood each of these as I explained. Now this thing, statistical inference, is also one of the most important thing in your entire business analytics field, because this is the base foundation of BA, business analytics, and this need to be understood in such a way that everything is dependent on this thing. So whenever I ask anyone who studied BA this simple question like what is population and what is sample, they are not able to tell me because their concepts are not clear. That is why I am saying please listen carefully and understand this thing. So a population is a set of all elements in a particular study. Example, if you want to know the average height of all students in a school, the population would be every single student enrolled in that school. अगर हमें जानना है कि IBS में टोटल कितने स्टूडेंट्स हैं, लेट्स से 2024 में IBS में कितने स्टूडेंट्स हैं, तो फिगर निकल के आएगा अराउंड more than 5,000 something, which includes not only MBA but BBA, law, and then BTech students and PhD as well. So in 2024, total number of students in IPS, including every branch, will be considered as the population. I hope you understood this. Let's understand sample. A sample is a subset of population. Example, instead of measuring the height of every student in the school, you might select a few students from each grade level to represent the entire student body. This smaller group is your sample. Now, let's go back to the example of our college IBS. IBS में 5,000 से भी ज़्यादा स्टूडेंट्स है, एंड उसमें MBA का कितना कंट्रीब्यूशन है, MBA के कितने स्टूडेंट्स है, विच विल बी अराउंड 1200 प्लस समथिंग फॉर 2024. और अगर मुझे इन MBA के स्टूडेंट्स में से एक हाइट, कितनी एवरेज हाइट MBA स्टूडेंट्स की है, वो पता करना है, तो व्हाट आई विल डू इज, मैं इन 1200 बैच में से 100 का सैंपल लूँगा रैंडम, जिससे कि मैं हाइट पे स्टडी कर पाऊँ. So that's it. So there are some case studies which I've mentioned over here, like case studies considering from different backgrounds: accounting, finance, marketing, and production. And production may I haven't mentioned anything, so it is your responsibility to write or tell me something about production field in the comments below. So that's it, guys, in today's video. In summary, we have covered the foundational aspects of data and statistics. So thank you for your engagement, and I encourage you to explore further applications of data in your endeavors. There were some of the key points. So data-driven decision making, scales and measurement, types of data and statistical inferences, which are the things we learned one by one. Thank you.